I don't want weight loss to feel confusing, overwhelming, or unreachable for you. I want you to walk away today understanding that you can eat, enjoy food, and have a lean physique. Maybe it's just me, but if the process has too many complicated moving pieces, I will bail before reaching my goal. Instead of walking around under a cloud of confusion, let me share a few of the strategies I use that changed my life for the better, making losing 80 pounds an easier journey, so much so that the same strategies have helped me maintain a lower healthy body fat percentage for over a decade now, well into my 50s. In the beginning, when I made the choice to lose weight, it was to my detriment to think that I could lose weight without changing my diet. Fact is fact. There is no way around it. To lose weight, altering our diet and how we eat, what we eat, has to happen. Failed weight loss attempt number I came to understand that I could no longer eat the way I was eating, expecting to lower my body fat percentage. I had gained weight eating in a surplus, more food energy than my body needed. In order to release the excess my body was carrying, I would need to eat in a slight caloric deficit, where I consumed a few less calorie energies than my body required. You want to know an easy peasy way to put yourself into an instant calorie deficit. This is what you do. Upgrade your food choices. Upgrade your food choices. Start selecting better quality food within each of the major food types and see what happens. Here's some geeky stuff for you. Cool geeky stuff. Did you know that diet as a noun refers to the kinds of foods that a person, animal, or community habitually eats? When a diet is used as a verb, it means restrict oneself to small amounts or special kinds of food in order to lose weight. From where I stand, whether a noun or a verb, we are always on some type of diet. Weird and true, right? To make weight loss less confusing as you are beginning, tip number one, a key part of making eating for weight loss and health a lifestyle and not a trendy fad is to find ways to make the foods you enjoy eating today right now in a way that is less calorically high.
Wait a minute. How do you do that?
There is a way to make almost every single meal tasty, but with less calories, yet higher in other beneficial macronutrients. All it takes is a quick Google search. Gotta love Google. Let me tell you, I like all types of French fries. Shoestrings, wedges, curly, steaks, in a brown paper bag with melted cheese and hot sauce on top, and a blast from my past. Anyway, French fries, America's favorite vegetable, sadly, is very high in calories. To fry a nice, crispy, crunchy kind of fry, a good deal of oil is used during the preparation. You do know the oil contributes to the overall calorie count. Yeah, because that's a lot of oil. Check this out. One medium-sized baked potato has roughly 160 to 170-ish calories. A small serving of French fries has about 220 calories. That is a nice size bump in calories, don't you think? And let's be real, I'm eating way more than a small serving of fries. My expanding waistline told you that, because I'm not sharing them with anybody.
Get back. Mine.
To make French fries to support my weight loss goals, instead of deep frying them or baking, which still requires a great deal of oil to keep them from sticking to the pan and to get nice and crispy, now I air fry my potatoes to make French fries. That is such a tasty way to eat French fries while still staying within my caloric range. This is what I meant when I said make the foods you like, just make them less calorically dense. That's not confusing at all. Tip number 2, I did a not so bright thing. I allowed myself to read a book, and I let it convince me that eating fruit was making me fat. When the book offered their company's snacks as an alternative, I think it was a rice cake, 100-calorie cookie pack, pretzels, I should have known better. Talk about confusion. Eating too much fruit might tax our liver, but making you fat when eaten in a balanced meal kind of way? Nah. In hindsight, when I stopped eating fruit, I introduced the perfect breeding ground for sugar cravings and constipation. It took me a minute to make that connection. I was too busy blaming other things and not the very thing right in front of my eyes. How did I let myself forget that fruit is nature's candy and intestinal cleanser? Fruit is a really good source of vitamins, minerals, fibers, and it supports gut health. Most fruits are low in calories, with a higher water content, making them tasty and just the right amount to eat in large, voluminous quantities without exceeding our calorie set point for the day. Opt for fruit as a first line of defense for sugar cravings over cookies, cupcakes, and candy bars when you are just starting out on your your weight loss journey. Give yourself time and incentive to lay a good firm foundation for sustainable success now, because there will be moments where you will pivot and you will eat the cupcake and the cookie, but you will have this foundation to dip back into quicker, faster, because the terrain path has already been laid. Tip number 3. At first, I didn't think this was going to matter much, but it turned out to be a lifesaver for my mind and hunger stability. Since eating for weight loss requires us to eat slightly less than the amount of food to maintain our current weight, hunger feelings will visit from time to time. I found that eating a source of high quality protein at each meal made losing weight easier. Sounds strange, right? Eating more protein cut my strong cravings off before there was time for them to take root. And I felt less hungry between meals. Don't get me wrong, I was eating protein when I was overweight. I was eating low sources of protein. Stuff like frozen chicken nuggets, ground pork, deli meat, sausages. Those types of proteins are comprised of way more fat and sodium than protein for protein's sake. Once I started adding in more whole, unprocessed pieces of chicken, by the way, are you team chicken thigh or chicken breast? But eating more of those and unbreaded seafoods and smidges of red meat, sources like bison, I love bison, I stayed full longer. When I ate those sources of protein, I could go 3 to 4 hours between meals without the desire for a snack or mindlessly eating whatever was nearby. The next time you feel like your body is rapidly using up whatever you just ate, don't get frustrated. Don't dive into the refrigerator and eat everything in sight. Up your protein intake instead. Tip number 4 saved me mentally. You may have a certain number you want to see on the scale or size clothing you are aiming for. Keep that. But don't let that be the only goal you measure. When I focus only on the number in the beginning, I quit my journey every third day of the week. The thing about weight loss is that it fluctuates daily and throughout the day. Be encouraged in knowing that achieving your desired weight in a way that can be long lasting with habits that fit your lifestyle, that takes time. We didn't gain all of our weight in a fortnight, so it's going to take more than a fortnight to lose the weight. Because here's the thing, we're not simply losing weight. If done correctly, we are gaining repeatable habits. Did you hear me? We're not just aiming to lose weight, we're aiming to acquire repeatable lifestyle habits. I had to insert a goal within my goal because every 4 to 6 weeks when that came around, my will and discipline got so strongly tested. Here's an example. 1 week, the goal or habit I wanted to obtain was having ready sources of protein cooked in the refrigerator so that I had no excuse not to eat more protein and keep my cravings in check. Another week, my goal was to increase my water intake from 2 cups first thing in the morning to 3 cups. All of this was still in tandem with having a better relationship with food, exercising, sleeping. All of those things were still going on. I would encourage you to find small areas you are already doing well in and see how you can challenge yourself to make it better for a week or 2. You could identify ways you want to grow and map out a goal associated with that for a week. Watch how your motivation stays long enough for discipline and consistency to become acts that are second nature. Having something to measure beyond the number on the scale or your pant size could give you the momentum to keep showing up for yourself. Be careful and intentional with tip number 5. In the beginning, during my successful weight loss stage, it was a must that I scheduled a predetermined period of time to take a pause from eating in a caloric deficit. Taking pre-planned diet breaks is good morale for the body and mind. To get this right, I want you to be careful and avoid doing a complete 180 where you go from eating in a caloric deficit to waking up tomorrow morning and eating mindlessly, devouring everything in sight. Don't become a bottomless bucket. Rather, allow yourself to eat a few of your favorite foods that aren't as calorie deficit friendly. If you are foregoing carbs for whatever reason, during this phase, this time where you're taking a pause, allow yourself to add some of those back into your diet and do it at a slow pace. Spread it out over the weeks. For me, I had a max number of extra calories that I would not allow myself to eat beyond. For you, you could have a number of how many calories you will eat or the number you will not allow yourself to exceed. Have that number already mapped out. Taking a break from eating for weight loss is not a license to lose your sense of direction nor impair your relationship with food. Going at it in this way, this approach was key to me mean not gaining a lot of weight during the break time, nor having a resurgence of food fears during the break time, because it could happen. If you start to notice yourself slipping into unpleasant habits or thought patterns that you have already identified as part of the reason you're on a weight loss journey to begin with, I want you to stop eating those foods and instead keep eating whatever food you're currently eating, whatever's in that meal selection already that you're eating, that you're good, you're comfortable with. Just increase that amount. Eat well, stay active.